Okay, so we will now do a
based on their
design.
All right, let me learn you a thing. There's a lot of aspects to design, but what I'm going to mostly focus on is A, is it appealing to look at? And B, does the design fit the function? Because some of these are appealing to look at, but their design does not fit their function.
So I feel like you are going to be a lot more knowledgeable here than me, so I feel like we're going to have a bit of a reverse.
As like an artist who wants to be a concept artist and a designer, and I have done props before. So I think A tier will be like, yeah, that's a solid design. It works for its function. It's just good.
It's a good design.
Good with a capital
nice.
G. Yeah. B is like, it looks nice and it's passable for its function.
Yeah.
C is, it might look nice, but it doesn't fit its function, or it fits its function but doesn't look nice. You can look at it, that's a charm, it's fine.
Also, how recognizable some of the charms are should be a factor, because in design.
How iconicness, that's what S tier is. It's A tier, but also iconic.
It's like, it's a legend, it's the moment, it's the moment.
Yeah, D tier is, it either doesn't look nice, or it doesn't fit its function. Either or. Like, one of those has none.
Mm-hmm.
F tier is...
When you mean by fitting its function, you mean, like, if I looked at it, I'd be able to...
If you looked at it, you'd probably be able to guess what it does. Or, like, it's got, like, a lore reason for looking like that. I don't know if anybody in chat is going to understand this, but my go-to example for design fitting function is to talk about the She-Ra reboot.
Go for it. This is your moment to shine.
Okay. So the original design of Entrapta is a nice design. I mean, like, it was made to sell toys. So, like it does fit its function. But for her as a character, the original design of Entrapta, there is nothing about her that says she works with machines, she's kind of quirky, and as a static pose on a screen, like, you wouldn't be able to tell that her hair moves.
Mm-hmm.
And you wouldn't be able to tell that she's a quirky mechanic and does all the machine and tech stuff. Reboot Entrapta, on the other hand, you look at her and you're like, oh, she's a mechanic. She does stuff with machines. She's got grease on her overalls. Her hair is wild and stretching out, and it looks like it's holding her up. So obviously it's like alive or some shit, and she's got a personality.
Can't take apart the ship while we're inside the ship? Did you forget about the, I don't know, crushing void of space?
I love thinking about the crushing void of space.
I love Entrapta.
So that's what I mean by design fitting function. I'm just gonna go right ahead with the first one.
Mm-hmm. Weaversong.
This is a good design.
I love it.
Yeah, I think it's solid. It works.
I think that this one's really recognizable. Like, if you know Deep Nest, you would know this is from Deep Nest and is part of the Weavers.
Yeah. I don't think it's iconic, but I do think it's a really good design. Like, you find it in Deep Nest, which is where the Weavers live. It looks like a Weaver. It's got, like, little cobwebs on it, which is really good. It also looks like the little Weaver helpers that you get. It looks like what it gives you, like those little Weaver thingies.
Like, you know what this does. It gives you Weavers.
That's what I mean by design fitting function. And also, it's pretty nice to look at. Like, I don't like spiders. Boop. But I like this charm, so that's A tier.
Yeah, I'd put it in A tier. Yeah, I like it. I think it's very much, like, it's very eye-poking, I would say. I like it. Moving on to Dream Wielder. I like the Dream Catcher. I think it's unique in comparison to the other charms.
Yeah, okay, here's the thing about, like, the fact that it looks like a dream catcher. There's a lot of stuff in Hollow Knight that looks like a dream catcher, so it loses a bit of its uniqueness in that, but it does work. Yeah. It is also nice to look at. I think it's a B tier.
Yeah.
Like, it's nice to look at, but it's not, like...
It doesn't pop.
It doesn't pop, because at this point you've seen a lot of dreamcatcher-y, dreamy stuff. So it doesn't stand out.
Yeah.
At all.
I could, like, a mid B, maybe even a teetering on the lower side, just because of the fact it doesn't stand out. But in terms, I like the way it looks. Its symmetry is really nice to me. Deep focus.
Okay, quick focus. No, that's quick focus.
Quick focus? Oh, quick focus.
So, can you stop moving the thing around the screen when you... Just leave it in the... while we pick it up. It's very distracting.
Okay. Deep focus.
Stop picking it up.
Okay.
Okay, quick focus. I don't think anything about this charm's appearance tells you what it does.
In fact, I think it kind of gives you a misinterpretation because of the metal on it.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the thing. It looks like where you find it, which is in Crystal Peaks. Like, the fact that it looks like it's in Crystal Peaks kind of gives it a bit of an edge because it has a reason for looking like that based on where you find it. It also doesn't indicate what it does, which is actually, like, difficult.
Yeah.
So I understand why they went with it looks like where you find it instead of it looks like what it does. It is appealing to look at. I think it's a C tier.
I can agree.
Because, like, they didn't have much of a choice in terms of making it fit the function, so they made it fit its environment instead, which is actually really smart.
Yeah. I do wish that it didn't look so bulky. I wish it kind of looked like it indicated speed more. Kind of, because to me this looks, the reason why so many people get it should
probably have looked more sleek.
Yes, exactly my point.
Like, but in terms of like just looking at it, it's fine.
Yeah, it looks fine. Like it's nice. I like
it. I'm not disgusted with it, but I'm also not happy with it. So C tier.
Sharp Shadow.
Yes, I love it. Okay, I love the design of this charm. Kind of reminds me of, like, it sort of looks like the cloak.
And the Shade Lord.
Yeah, just a little bit. And just a little bit like the Shade Lord. But, like, the fact that it looks like the cloak and also looks a little bit like the lower part looks a little bit like sort of wings and it looks very aerodynamic. And also, it's black. So, but, like, so dark that you can't see the designs on it. Just, it's such a good design. It's nice to look at, and it also fits its function. It's not iconic, though.
Yeah, you know this is a Void thing.
You know it's a Void thing immediately. I think it's better than Weaversong.
Oh, I think it's a lot better than Weaversong, personally, just because it's like, it feels like one of those charms that sticks out more. Because
definitely, like when I first picked it up and I looked at it and I was just like, oh yeah, that looks really cool.
Exactly, it looks amazing.
Okay.
Nail Master's Glory.
Glory. Okay, it looks like the Nail Masters. That's fucking great. I love it. Actually, like, this is such a good example of how you can make the form fit the function. What I said about quick focus also applies here, but like better. Because Nail Master's Glory, looking at it, if you had no knowledge, you wouldn't really be able to tell what it does. But since you got each of the nail arts from the Nail Masters and you know what they look like, you know what that looks like, and you're just like, oh, it's got something to do with the Nail Masters. I think it's really good. Like, really good design.
I can agree with you there.
I think it's A tier, actually.
You don't think it's iconic enough?
I don't think it's... I don't think it's iconic.
Because I do think it like, does look a bit bland.
It does look a little bit bland. It's not immediately like, heck yeah, icon. The little bit drawback is it's not as appealing to look at as the other two. It's such a good example of form-fitting function, but like it also isn't quite as eye-catching.
Yeah.
Even though that might be the point. So I do think it is an A tier, but not above Sharp Shadow.
Okay, yeah, I can see. Yeah, I like the design of Sharp Shadow more in this case. But I do like this. I like it a lot. I think it definitely, for what it is, I don't really see how you could get much better without making it pop more. So I like it. I think it's pretty good. Carefree Melody.
That's kind of a tough one because having it like resemble the Grim Troop stuff, good. That's a good start. But here's the thing, like, I feel like
I'm not sure how I feel about how
I feel like Carefree Melody, the name of the charm doesn't quite fit the design. Like, having it be red and white, like the Grim Troop stuff, was a good idea. But, like, this is supposed to be after Nim is free from Grim, and he gives this to you. It doesn't... Cause, see, it's appealing to look at, but, like, not as much as it could be.
Yeah. I also feel like it doesn't really tell what it does. Because like, I didn't know what it did for such a long time.
Yeah, Carefree Melody, like the name, maybe it should have looked more like a music box or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it doesn't really signify anything to do with melodies or to do with the fact that you have a chance thing of getting hit. I had no clue what this did by the name. I was just like, oh, this is a cool thing.
Though I don't really know how you would design something that's just like for that function that it is. You would have to design it based on how you get it and what its name is, rather than what it does.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it doesn't do those things as well as it could. Like, I don't think it's C tier. I don't think it's the worst because you do get it out of the Grim Troop DLC.
I would put it in high C tier.
I put it high C.
Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely better than Quick Focus.
Definitely better than Quick Focus. Yeah, definitely. Makes sense of this section. Basically.
Yeah, you said, it looks like Brum. Why didn't we say it looks like Brum? And then I listened to the section, and what I meant here was that he's free of the Grim Troop, so why does it look like the Grim Troop other than you get it out of that DLC? And then you asked me, but it's his melody. He can now be free to play whatever melody he wants. And I said, then why does it look like the Grim Troop if he's free?
Yeah, that closed up my confusion.
So, just to clarify in case anyone else got confused about that. Yeah, okay.
Thank you, dogs!
Alright.
Anyway, moving on to Mark of Pride.
I really like this design. It looks like, it looks like a shield, which is just like, yeah, the mantis won't attack you anymore. You're protected. And also the golden mantis claws around the side. Yes! The thing I don't understand about it, though, is, like, the rope-looking thing that's tied around it. I don't quite understand that, but it does look cool.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's supposed to be, like, more of a more homely type thing, I think. Like, I don't really know.
I really adore the design. It's so nice to look at. It's just that, like, it doesn't quite fit its function as well as it could. But, like, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, is so nice to look at.
I can agree with you.
I do think the shield-like design and the mantis claw shape is enough to define it.
Yeah.
It's just, oh my god, I really love it. I think it's, I don't know if it's A tier. I'm gonna put it in low A.
Okay.
And I'll see if I change my mind because I just love this chart. I like how it looks. That might be my subjective opinion leaking in there a bit.
It's a very nice charm.
Oh, yeah, Ellen, you're right about Carefree Melody. It should have been an accordion, yes.
Oh,
it should have looked like, it should have looked like Nim's accordion. Shit.
That would have been really cool. But yeah, I think it's A tier. I think it is.
I feel like just because here's the thing: a good design can be carried by its appeal, just as long as there's like a little bit of function in there.
Yeah, I think that the fact it has the mantis claws and the mantises are known for ranged nail attacks. You know, with the way the mantis claws are going all over the place and the way the mantises kind of scratch at you, it does kind of signify that this is kind of a range type thing, maybe. But I understand what you mean, but it doesn't really say that enough.
It really fits how you get it, though.
Yes.
You get it by defeating the mantis lords, and the fact that there's, like, golden mantis claws around it, it looks like it's a prize that you earn.
Yeah, it's a good trophy.
Yeah.
Wayward Compass.
I think that's very iconic. Like, the simpleness of it, it does look like a compass.
Yeah.
And the simpleness is its greatest strength, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's very nice to look at, and it's a solid design, very iconic as one of the first, probably the first charm you ever get in the game. Yeah. And, like, just look, like, you played Hollow Knight, you know Wayward Compass, that's what it looks like. Icon.
I would personally put it I put it in S tier just because of just how...
I put it on S tier based on iconicness alone.
But also just because of how it really tells what it does. It's a compass.
Yeah, it's a compass. It looks like a compass. It's got the points on it.
To be fair, though, it is kind of playing on easy mode because it's very easy to draw a compass like this, since it's, again,
yeah, but it's also object. A very pretty compass, though.
How it
looks. They could have made it like that simple ass compass, but like they did the little design thingies in between the needles. Like,
plus I do like.
I think they did a really good job.
Yeah, I also kind of like how the design on the compass, like with the way the arrows are pointing, look very similar to the pattern that is shown behind the radiance when you fight her. It's a very similar pattern. I thought that was pretty cool since it's like the first charm you get. Don't know if that has any meaning though. I just found it.
I don't think it does. I think it's just a star shape for like.
I just think it's pretty cool.
Okay, Fluke Nest.
Fluke Nest.
Stop wiggling it.
It's so fun to wiggle.
Okay, here's the thing about Fluke Nest. As much as I hate looking at it, it does fit its function. Horrific to look at, but it fits its function. Like, I hate looking at the flukes, but their point is that you're supposed to hate looking at them. They're supposed to be gross. So like, this is a hard one because, like...
Your subjective opinion.
Yeah, it would have to go into my subjective opinion. So, like, this is the only reason I made D tier that is so I could put Fluke Nest in the D tier.
Are you serious?
Because it fits its function well. It looks like a fluke. Like, unfortunately, flukes are disgusting to look at, and I hate it.
I guess my only thing is that it doesn't really signify anything with soul. It just says just flukes. So you don't really know what it does until you actually use it. But it's Fluke Nest. It launches a nest of flukes. So it makes sense. But I understand it does look very ugly.
Just, like, the frustrating thing about Fluke Nest is I can't, like, off the top of my head think of a way to make it better.
I do like the unique purple pinkish color, but it is literally just a fluke.
I would keep the color scheme, but, like...
Maybe, like, get rid of the big mouth.
Can we stop talking about it now? I hate it.
Okay. Unbreakable strength.
Okay, that's a hard one. It's nice to look at, and I can feel the unbreakable part of it. Do I feel the strength part of it, though? I mean, I guess those do sort of look like nails.
It more looks like... It looks like a shell, you know?
It looks more like a shell than, like, an attack charm.
I can definitely see that, like...
And it also, like, based on where you get it, it's one of those things that, like, you buy it from a shop, and then you upgrade it at a different shop. So, like, it doesn't have that.
Yeah, it doesn't have, like,
if
you got it, like, the Coliseum. So... Like, if you got the Coliseum, then it's like, oh, you got it from...
If you got it at the Coliseum, then, like, yeah, I'd say that's fine. I think this is a C tier, honestly.
I can see. Plus, yeah, I can see what you're saying. I can see, get it.
I do like it better than the other two, so, yeah.
Okay. I would personally put it in B tier. Okay, I would personally put it in B tier because it does have a bit more of a pop. I can understand the high C tier, so I'll agree with you on that.
Yeah. That one's F tier.
Yeah, I don't like this one. I can honestly barely understand.
It's not appealing to look at, and the little ball thingies that it got going on, they don't look like Geo.
I know what it's trying to do. It's trying to look like the Geo rocks.
But it doesn't.
I only just noticed this now. It has a little Geo thing in the middle.
But you can't... That's so hard to notice, though, because it's surrounded by a bunch of other stuff.
I don't like it. It just...
Like, yeah, it doesn't fit its function, and it's not appealing to look at. That one's F tier.
Yeah. Grubberfly's Elegy.
I love this.
I think it's nice. I like the way... I just like grubs. It really just shows that, like...
Like, it does, like... I don't know what it is about it. Like, it's very hard to show something, like, giving you, like, a sword projectile thingy. But, like, I don't think it really needs to, because, like, the wings kind of look like the projectile thing.
That's what I was gonna say. It looks...
Yeah!
It looks like it.
And because... And it looks like what I assume a Grubberfly looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of, like, get to extrapolate what the grubs turn into. And it's pretty, actually. Like...
And it's like, for what it is in the game, when you get this, it feels like an actual reward. Yeah, the charm is not the best, but it's like, I feel like for what it is...
I think it's A tier. I like the design of it better than...
Where do you think?
I like the design.
It's definitely better than Nailmaster's Glory, but
I think
it's better than Sharp.
It's not better than Shard Shadow.
I don't think so? Okay.
Unfortunately, Nailmaster's Glory is like... Simplicity is a good thing, but unfortunately, sometimes you want to... Like, yeah.
This pops. It's very recognizable. And had it had more usage in game, I feel it would have gone to S tier because it has that iconic feeling in the same way Wayward Compass does. Because of how useless it is, it becomes very forgettable, which is why I don't think it has the same iconicness. But in terms of design, yeah, this is definitely one of the better ones. It is making up for a lot of faults the actual usage of the charm has. So I love this personally.
Shape of Un. Okay, at first glance, it doesn't look like much, but it's actually a very clever design.
Okay.
So if you look at the green part that's wrapping around the blue swirls,
Yeah.
it looks like a slug.
The green part wrapping around the blue.
Right in the middle, like everything that's green, it looks like a slug.
Oh, shit!
Yeah,
Oh, shit, it kind of does!
and it's even got like a little mouth. And also, the blue swirl part, that swirl pattern is also on a lot of the other charms that have to do with soul.
Yeah, like a shaman, like shaman stone, or
Yeah.
like just soul. Like, you know.
Yeah, so that's actually a very smart design. Unfortunately, I do wish the colors were like a little less dulled.
Yeah,
I
wish
wish
it was like
they were a
brighter
little more vibrant.
Yeah.
Just a little bit to make it pop more.
Because like you get this from Green Path, which is like life and green and stuff. It's literally from Un. So I wish it just popped more.
I mean, like, I guess maybe you could argue that it's like that because Un is dying.
True. Maybe, but
But
still.
like at the same time, that's an argument to be made and not immediately apparent. I think this is just like a really solid design and also like really clever. It's just not iconic. I do think the design is more clever than Sharp Shadow, actually.
Okay. I can
Just based on how smart this design is, I really love it.
I can see now that you pointed it out, I can definitely see where you're coming from in terms of just how interesting it is. It really feels like they put thought into it for how simple it is. Plus,
Okay, Joni's Blessing, I'm putting it in B tier because it's nice to look at, but it doesn't do anything unique.
Above or below?
Like, I think it's above Dream Wielder because it's immediately apparent what Joni Blessing does, just based on how it looks.
Yeah.
But it's like, it doesn't quite do anything interesting enough to be A tier. Because, like, that's just straight up probably the first thing a designer would think of to do.
It's very much it's taking the easy route, which makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, how else would you really represent this?
I feel like this might have been the first one they finalized.
Yeah, maybe.
And then they had to do something different for the other two, so they got creative.
Yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming from. It sticks out more than the other two, I will say. Which makes sense since it does something, while useless, very different.
Yeah.
Defender's Crest.
Okay, this is actually pretty good. It's like very solid. The red part is Dung Defender's body, and the gray part is his claws.
And he has a little bit of hair sticking out the bottom.
What? Okay. Yeah, this is A tier. This is great. Like, see, unlike I think it's at the bottom of A tier. Unlike Joni's Blessing, this probably isn't the first thing you'd immediately think of if you were making a Dung Defender based charm. Because, like, if you were bland, you'd make it like his face or something.
Yeah.
But, like, they have the claws sort of arced around the body, so it looks defensive. It looks Defender's Crest. And basically what this charm does is makes a defense that's also offense. Yeah. Like, people get hurt when they touch you.
Yeah.
It's like a shield, but made of spikes.
The only thing about this is I do feel the design is too good for what the actual usage of it is.
I mean, that I think makes it better because how you sell something is a good design.
That's true.
That's how you trick people into people into buying useless shit is you make the design good.
Yeah, I feel like especially our next charm is a great example of that.
Yeah, I love this design. It's so good. That was the Lifeblood core, right?
No, this is just the 2-1. This is the one that only does
This
2.
one's Lifeblood
core is the
Heart?
one down here. Lifeblood Heart, Lifeblood, the other Lifeblood one.
Yeah, this one's really good. It looks like Firefly-ish. Like, the top part is a shell that's opened into wings, and the blue part is the thorax. It's good.
What I like about this, and this is going to touch on a bit on Lifeblood Core, is I like how this has one thing in the middle, which signifies that it does like a little bit of healing, whereas Lifeblood Core has multiple of them, which signifies it does a lot more healing. I like the dichotomy between the two, kind of signifies that this is kind of like the weaker thing. I do kind of wish it was a bit more, the design was a bit more different though, because it does very often blend in with the other two Lifeblood charms, especially with how...
it does, but like personally, I think this one has the best design out of them, just based on like the detailing and how they sort of draw your eye to the blue part. It also looks a little more glowy, just based on the color usage. Like, it looks special.
It's special. So
and also it fits what it does.
Yeah, even if what it does is shit. So where would you put this?
I'd put it in A tier.
Where?
I think I'd put it above Sharp Shadow.
You think so?
Just because of how, like, look at it. Just it draws
looks like
your
a Christmas
eye.
ornament.
It looks intricate and detailed and important.
It looks important.
Okay.
Long nail. I don't like it.
Okay, long nail looks like a shield for some reason. Like, I know the outer parts sort of look like nails, but I feel like long nail and heavy blow should have switched design. Yeah, I feel like maybe if there was one long skinny nail in the middle, that would make it better, almost, I guess.
You never can tell what this is.
Because the nail designs are on the side, it looks more like fat nail than long nail.
Fat nail.
And the middle looks like a shield, which doesn't work.
I just feel like it doesn't. It's so bland to me. It doesn't. It really just blends in.
It is shiny to look at. I'll give it that. It's okay to look at. I don't hate how it looks. Actually,
I'm a bit more negative against it, since to me it feels like it could have done.
You know what it looks like? It looks like a gym badge.
Yeah, it does. Oh my god.
It looks like a steel type gym badge.
So personally, I would put this in C tier.
No, but I'd put it in D because it does not fit its function at all. I don't think.
I'd put it below Fluke's then, because at least Fluke's you know what's up. This you have no clue.
But it is nicer. It's not disgusting to look at, so it's not in F.
But you just have no clue what this does.
Yeah, Kingsoul. I think Kingsoul's an S tier because, like, holy shit, that's iconic, and also, really know what it does and what it's for.
It's the Kingsoul.
It also looks like how you get it, which is a combination of the White Lady and the Pale King.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any of their, like, horns or spikes or anything, but it looks like something they would make together.
Yeah, exactly. My only negative is that you don't get this for that long.
So pretty to look like.
It's so
look at. I was actually just kind of a little disappointed that I didn't have it for longer, just because it looks nice.
It looks so nice, and it really is, like, very much one of the turning points of the game is when you actually get this full thing and you're like, whoa, this looks incredible.
I think that I do like the design better than Wayward Compass, just because, like, it's pure white. It stands out amongst all of the other charms that use kind of, like, similar colors.
And it's Soul. It's the same color as Soul, which really signifies that this is something to do with Soul. And such. I like it a lot.
Also, it has just a little tiny bit of that swirl pattern just kind of hidden under the, in the top half.
Yeah. I like it. It's good.
Steady body. It doesn't look like what it does, unfortunately.
Yeah, kind of.
It's not very eye-catching either.
Wish it was more rocky, if that makes any sense. I wish it kind of was, like, more stone-like, when it's like you were stabilizing.
Steady body should have looked a little more like Stalwart Shell.
Can totally agree with you there. Because this looks a bit slim, almost 2D.
Yeah, this looks, like, slender and intricate, and I'm just gonna, like, erase what it does from my mind and try to figure out what somebody might think it does. Like, it looks sort of flowy. Honestly, if they had, for some ungodly reason, decided to make the red part blue, I would have think that this is the charm that lets you swim.
I can see what you mean,
it just doesn't look like what it does, and it's not eye-catching enough to forgive that.
Yeah. I feel like it's also kind of unoriginal. Look at the color scheme of other things. The color scheme is not really unique in any way for what it does.
I think it's the lower D tier. It's just, I don't viscerally hate it, and that keeps out of F tier.
Yeah. Moving on to Grubsong.
Okay, I don't know how you would tie in what it does. Like, I wish it had the swirl pattern that other soul charms have, but it's funny. It sort of mimics it by having the outer grubs be smaller and smaller, so it kind of looks a little bit like it, but I don't think it looks like it enough. Fortunately, it fits its location that it's obtained. You got this from Grubs. It looks like a Grub. But not enough like a Grub that it's like, oh, that's just a Grub face. It's
the Grub
designed. It's designed a little like it's more poopy. I don't know.
It definitely. It's very easy to find this in the charm menu because of just how it looks and how it sticks out. It kind of has the. It's kind of like what Shape of Un could have been. Because if, like, this was a dull green, it would have been kind of bad. But this is a very vibrant one. It's like, it pops at you.
Yeah, no, if, like, the green of Shape of Un was this color, it would elevate Shape of Un, I think. Even though it's already A tier,
so
but, like...
where would you put this one, then? Where would you put this? Because I think it's at least A tier.
I think it's at least A tier because it's just so solid.
Yeah. Definitely above Grubberfly's Elegy, I feel, personally.
Yeah, definitely, because actually no, I don't, no. Because Grubberfly's Elegy gives you something to think about, whereas you don't really have to think about Grubsong. It's just like, oh,
I do wish it had a more.
I actually don't know if it's even A tier. Just
the thing is, does form fit function now? Not really.
It's very hard to make form fit function sometimes, so you gotta make it fit location.
I think it's at least Defender's Crest personally, because it's like maybe a bit higher personally, since this is so
I actually like at some point I might end up actually moving Defender's Crest to B tier because as solid as it is, it's not that interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of my point.
Like, it's smart design, but it's unfortunately not as fun to look at as it could be.
It blends in a lot, I feel, with a lot of things. So yeah. But anyway, I like it. I like Grubsong. We love Grubs. And if you loved this video and want to see part 2, make sure to like and subscribe. If you're sad that the video's over and looking for more content while I work on my next big video, check out the commission I made for my buddy Double Negative. It's a video about linguistics for an upcoming competition, and I'd love if you guys could give it a look. Link in the description. That's all for now. See ya!